Hey guys, it's Lucy, and this week I'm going to be making a giant dragon. So I sell these dragons on my Etsy, but I've never made one for a market before, and I have a market literally this weekend. So I decided that this week I'm going to make one of these giant dragons. So this is a pattern that I'm going to be using. It's the Rosa the Dragon pattern by Nerdy Knitter, and I'm going to be using these Bernat blanket colors. So this one is Misty Jungle Green. This is Vintage White. I wanted to get like a true white, but they didn't have it, and so I just got this one. So this is the dragon that I made the first time I did this pattern, and I ended up keeping this one. I love this pattern, and I think these dragons come out really cool. So like I said, I make these on my Etsy. But I haven't taken them to a market before because they're obviously really big and it's hard to have space for everything. But I'm trying a new table setup at this market, and so I'm going to make one of these dragons to have on my table. I'm not positive that it'll sell because it is expensive because it's giant. But I think it'll be cool as like an attention grabber if nothing else. And they do look pretty awesome, so I'm hoping that it'll, at the very least, that it'll bring people to my booth who wouldn't otherwise come and check it out. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing in this video. At this point, I took a break from crocheting to eat lunch, and I ended up taking my cat outside. She's obsessed with hanging out in the backyard, and so sometimes I'll take her outside so she can walk around. So it's the next day, and this is where I left off last night. I also realized that I have almost no polyfill left. This is a 5-pound bag and it's almost completely empty, so I'm gonna have to get polyfill sometime today. And now we are at Michael's. Got my polyfill and headed home. So I'm working on the body for the dragon. The tail, the body, the neck is all one piece. So this is where I'm at. I've got about 12 rows left, I think, in the neck. And I'm just about done with the first skein for the body. This is all I have left. So I'm gonna grab, there it is. I'm gonna grab the second skein off my shelf in just a second, but I wanted to show you how I give the dragon like a little bit of structure, because if you don't give it any structure, it will just fall over. And I can show you with my dragon, with the first dragon that I made, I didn't put any structure in it, and it literally just kind of falls over. the pattern itself is written for acrylic yarn, and in the pattern she has you put pipe cleaners in it, like in the neck and in the tail, which I'm sure works great for the acrylic yarn, but because I'm using Bernat blanket, it's a lot bigger, and so obviously pipe cleaners wouldn't support it that much. So I actually use a pool noodle. This is a pool noodle that I cut in half. It's about 8 inches, I think, of pool noodle that I cut in half, and I just put it in the neck and then stuff around it. And I'll have to cut like this into like a little spear at the top because the neck gets too narrow for all of this. But if you put the pool noodle in, and then it kind of holds its neck up and it doesn't just like fall over. I'll cut this is the other half of the pool noodle. I'll cut this in half and then put half each into the front legs so that he can stand up all by himself. So I'm gonna go grab my dragon so you can see what it looks like when it doesn't have any structure. So this is my dragon, and right now he's got a knitting needle shoved up his neck. Like you can see, this is the end of the knitting needle. But if I pull it out, he just kind of falls over. Yeah, so if you want the neck to stand up like it's supposed to, then you really have to have something built into it. And I didn't know that the first time I made this pattern, obviously. So you can see how floppy his neck is, which is why I keep a knitting needle stuck into it so that he will sit up. But that's why I use pool noodle now, because it will support the neck, but it's still soft. So if a child, is playing with the dragon or something, they're not going to hurt themselves by having like something hard inside of it. It's still squishy, even though it gives it some structure, so it's not just gonna fall over. Alright, so final check-in for today. It's just after 11 o'clock and I'm calling it a day. I just finished the horns for the dragon's head, and then I also did all of the spines that go on the wings. So tomorrow I'm going to do the wings themselves, and then I also need to do the spikes that go along the back. And I'm really hoping that I can assemble everything tomorrow, but I have to work in the morning, so I'm not sure that I'll have enough time. But I'm really hoping that I can, so tomorrow was Thursday. I'm really hoping I can finish the dragon tomorrow so that on Friday I can prep everything, make sure I have tags on everything, and anything else that I need to do, because my market is on Saturday and I also work Friday afternoon, so I won't be able to do anything then. So I'm really hoping that I'll be able to dedicate Friday morning to making sure that everything is priced and tagged and I have everything kind of together, so that I know exactly what I'm bringing in terms of like display and supplies and products and everything, so that I'm as prepared as I can be for Saturday. But anyway, I'm calling it quits tonight, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow after I get back from work. I was really tired this day after a couple of late nights, and so I didn't feel like doing a check-in. this is me when I finally finished the dragon at around 11 o'clock that night. I was really tired, but very proud of myself for getting it done. I hope you enjoy these shots of the dragon. This dragon didn't end up selling at my market, so it is available on my Etsy now if you're interested in checking it out. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, then you should like it. And if you want to hang out, then you should subscribe.